Valley Club Battleworld is almost here. We got some brand new screenshots to share with you, as well as my thoughts on a demo that we got to see just a little while ago. Also, we got the brand new Orchis raids. What can you and your alliance do to get the maximum amount of rewards for it before the new Orchis team and the new Night Stalker team arrive in the game? And it is Mailbag Tuesday. We're going to answer your questions to the mailbag in this video. And if you're ready for all of that and more, then Valley Club, you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin, and I hope you're having a great day. In this video, we got the latest on Battleworld. I got a few new screenshots to share with you, as well as my thoughts on a demo that I recently got to see about Battleworld. It is looking very good. I'm going to share everything I know so far in this video with you about Battleworld. Also, the brand new Orchis raids. What can you and your alliance do to get the maximum amount of rewards before we get this new Orchis team and the new Night Stalkers team? And it is Mailbag Monday, so we're going to answer your questions in the mailbag. Before we get to all that, though, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button for more Marvel Strike Force content. Minimum of 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on the channel. Usually more. We get question and answer videos like this, news videos, gameplay videos, everything to help your experience in Marvel Strike Force. But let's talk about the brand new screenshots that we just got released to show you guys. This is a new environment that Battleworld is going to be fought on, and I think that was one of the good things about this new graphics update. I know right now the graphics are a little weird for those of you testing the graphics, but one thing that I am excited about is them putting new environments, things like this in the game. And I think once all the bugs are ironed out of the graphics updates, things like this will be popping up a lot sooner, kind of like those over to the air updates that we have. Also, we've had this screenshot as well. Let me know what you make of this screenshot. And to me, it looks like it's AI generated. But if we go back to the preview for 2023, to kind of explain a few things that's going on here. So we have this rewards here, we have the season, and we need to get points. The thing that you need to get is victory points. There's a few different sections. So you enter this battle world here. At the time of this, the main enemy was Magneto, but I want to get your guesses on what you think the main enemy is gonna be for the battle world that is coming up. It's not Magneto, but it's someone else. Based on what you saw in that preview, let me know who you think the main enemy is. But as we go down here, we see that there's different sections here, and you're gonna be able to do a new section every day. New sections go open up, but to get to the next section, you need to get these victory points. And there's a few ways that you can get these victory points, and you're gonna keep going for these next zones, these new zones until you get to the boss, and then everyone in the alliance is gonna be able to tackle the boss. Now, as far as these new zones, how you score points for it, there's gonna be a couple different types of missions for these points. You got the special operations where you're just kind of setting and forgetting your characters. Now, you do have to kind of strategize with this, because if you set characters here, you're not going to be able to use characters when you're trying to use these characters to play these missions on these different things, claiming the region, crossing the gate, and loot momentum tower. Now, from what I remember, there's only a few different missions that you need to do, a lot of special operations that you set for characters. Now, if you're just doing all these special operations, the preview that I saw did give you enough points to get to that next section, same as if you're doing these missions. Now, where the difference is going to happen is where it's going to make a difference is on these leaderboards here. So you should be able to get through the next zones, beat the boss, do all that stuff with just either the special operations or just your missions. If you do both, it's going to give you more points for this the rankings, but it looks to be pretty interesting. There's going to be more than enough points to get through all these missions, and I think if you have a full alliance, you should be able to strategize. Now, some of these special missions do have some of the more later game characters, so maybe not all alliances will be able to get through this. Some of it you need to place an Apocalypse, some other characters like an AIM character or something. So some of these characters that you're going to set and forget are going to be some valuable characters, some just trashy characters, and I think there are some differences based on your alliance which characters you're going to use. So the strategy will come into play here, which characters you're going to use to actually beat these missions and which you're going to set into special operations. Now, there are some tag limitations to what you can bring into each of these, and I think it's going to rotate throughout the course of this season. So it is going to be some strategy every single day. Not everybody in the alliance is going to need to participate to get all these points, but like I said, the more points you accumulate is going to lead to these ranking rewards. So it looks to be pretty fun. Can't wait for this. Everything that I've seen about it so far looks very good. What else we can share about this right now is that they're going to be of test. We're going to be able to test the feature before it goes live, give feedback on it. So let me know your thoughts. Let's move on to these new Orchis raids, which launched less than 24 hours ago. And that means that everybody is on the normal difficulty right now, unless there's a alliance that saved a bunch of raid keys and power coded their way through it. Only difficulty 1 right now, which means that soon people will be getting these first time rewards at difficulty 1, 2, and 3. For these first time rewards, you only need to complete that at 50%. And to unlock each difficulty, you need to complete the normal difficulty. I believe the completion definition of that to unlock the next difficulty is also 50%. Could be 70%, but you don't need to get to 100% to unlock the next difficulty. Now, the good thing about these raids, like I said, they do have better rewards than the incursion raids. So if you and your alliance are able to switch to these Orchis raids, if you have a full alliance, these Omega difficulty is designed for you. If you have a less than full alliance, there's only 51 nodes on the normal difficulty versus the 71 on the Omega difficulty. So if you don't have as many alliance members, you may want to do the earlier difficulty, but if you do, the Omega difficulty is the one for you. Now, as far as the rewards, you got some rewards at 10%, more at 40%. 70% I think is ideal if you're not trying to get all those points for the raid season ranking rewards. You do get a few more rewards at 100%, but the majority of them you do get at 70%. And if you're looking to 70% these raids, you don't have to do all these nodes. If you're doing the Omega difficulty, you're going to have 71 of these nodes. And if you do this middle lanes here, the mutant lane, which we have the Extreme X-Men for, if you do one lane of Mystic, so all 3 of your alliance members or all 4 of your alliance members on this lane go up the middle or one of these sides, but just do one lane. That's going to give me 3 nodes versus 7 if you do all the lanes here. Then you go back to all 7 of these skill lanes. You do 1 lane of the tech, so 3 nodes here. Finish the bio section. You have the hive mind for that. You have the Spider Society for skill. Then you go and team up with everybody in your alliance to beat the boss. On this side, it's going to be almost the same kind of strategy here. You're doing the skill section with the Spider Society. Tech section, we don't have the Orchis team in the game yet, so you're going to split up the middle here. Then you're going to go the bio section. You're going to split off again using your hive mind to beat this section. The Mystic, we don't have a solution for. Bifrost works okay. If you have Mephisto, that is going to be a lot easier than if you don't have Mephisto, but you split up this lane in the middle, and then you work with your Extreme X-Men or Old Man Logan, Apocalypse combos, or some hybrid teams to finish up this mutant section, and then you tag up for the boss. So for that, if you do that section, or if you do that strategy, instead of 7 nodes on all of these, you're going to get 7, and then on the middle lanes, you're going to get 3 nodes, which leaves you with 54 nodes done out of the 71. That'll get you a little more than 70% completion if everybody in your alliance is doing that. I think that's the easiest way to do that without using a lot of cores. If you don't have characters like Mephisto, at least until the Orchis team and Night Stalkers team comes out of the game, I think that is the easiest strategy to get you to 70% completion and get you as many rewards as possible without spending a ton of cores. All right, but moving on to the mailbag questions of the week. And if you want to leave a question for one of these future mailbag videos, join the Discord. The link is down below. Leave your question in the mailbag question channel. First question of the week, though, I have a silly question. What is your least favorite game mode right now in the game? If we're not talking about real-time arena or any silly game modes like Blitz, out of the 4 main game modes, arena, crucible, raids, and war, I would say war. If we're talking about the main 4, obviously Blitz sucks, real-time arena sucks, but it would be war. I like being able to go into the game and attack when I want, whereas war is not always like that. Sometimes you go into the game and you see teams that are way too small based on your compared to your roster, or way too big compared to your roster, and you're just kind of waiting for your alliance mates to do something. I never like that. I never like that design. I know a lot of people love war, but I just don't like the waiting around. I like the design of Crucible, where when I want to attack, I could go in and attack. I could plan things out. But that for me, out of the main 4, it would be war. But yeah, Blitz sucks. Real-time arena sucks. There's probably other game modes that I can't even think of. Maybe the flash events or something like that suck. But out of the main 4, it'd probably be war, because I still like Crucible. The trophy issue is kind of annoying, and the rewards aren't as good. Raids is, I don't know if I like that, but I like when you have a new raid and trying to find a solution. And arena, I think, is fun. So that's my take. Let me know what your least favorite game mode is in the comments down below. Hey Valley, thanks for the feedback. I'm trying to unlock Super Scroll. What else do you think I need for Old Man Logan besides this? I won't have problems with other 2 teams, because Cabal, Spider since I have them at gear 18, 7 stars, except for Penny. I'm assuming all level 100, not just level 95. But let's take a look at both of these teams, brother. So first, you have your out of time here. Black Knight is pretty good. If you have the dark promotion credits, maybe putting a few more red stars on him. The Ghost Rider should be fine. Captain America, Captain Carter, Star Brand. This should be fine if you're going for maybe a 5-star, possibly a 6-star. I think you need to build them a little bigger if you're going for that 7-star unlock for out of time. You don't necessarily need them to survive for Mephisto if you're doing like a 9-node strategy like I did, but you do want them to be able to beat that first node reliably. So I would build them a little bigger. As far as your next section here, the Cosmic Bio section, Super Skrull is really going to carry you through most of it. I did end up using a lot of the Nowhere teams. So I did have a decent Korg. I did have a decent Cosmo. Nova, I think is pretty good for this section. Now, when I did the Old Man Logan trials, we did not have the Annihilator. So that might make a difference here. Void Knight was okay. I didn't use him on that first section with Cosmic Bio. I used him on next. But yeah, Super Skrull is going to be your main culprit here. So once you get Super Skrull, that should be a little easier. But like I said, I used up the Nowhere team because on the Old Man Logan trials, you have your Crucible bonuses, you have your War bonuses. Nowhere is a good War team. I figured that would be good, and they end up getting that first Cosmic Bio section. The second Cosmic Bio section is pretty easy, but the first one is pretty challenging, and I used Nowhere for that. So I might build them up a little bit more. They do still have some value in War right now if you're just looking to build them up. It's not just for the Old Man Logan trials. You're going to get some return on your investment in War as well, but a little bigger for some of these characters is what I recommend. If you're going for the 7-star Old Man Logan, I think you should be okay if you're going for the 5 or 6-star version or lower, but for the 7-star, you do need a few characters built up. I'm not sure if Black Bolt, Mr. Fantastic, leaning into Illuminati is the way to go. So I just built up I didn't have to build them up. I just used my Nowhere because they were already built up. So hopefully that helps you, my brother. All right, next question. Hey, ValleyFlyin, I have 2 questions. First, when will Odin's kit will be? I'm guessing that's when it will be revealed. I can't say that. I'm under NDA. I can't say any of that stuff. Second question, do you think we'll get a roadmap of 2024 or like a preview blog? My goodness, we are more than halfway through 2024. The last time we saw one of those was late 2023. I hope we get one. I think a lot of things got delayed because of delays with Battleworld. I want that to be in the game as soon as possible, but from what I heard, it was buggy and they wanted to be in a good state when it's released. So I appreciate that they're waiting. Have a good game mode, release no bugs, and then I think that's better than releasing it in a buggy state, having all this hype and then people can't play it because it's bugged. So the delay sucks, but I think a lot of the roadmap delay was because Battleworld was delayed, and now we're looking like we're having Battleworld on the horizon. Maybe we'll get another blog post, but I think a lot of the things have been revealed already. We know Battleworld is coming. We know Dark Dimension 8 is coming. We know an Orchis team is coming. We know that a Night Stalkers team is coming. There's a few other things that we know that's coming, but yeah, we know a lot that's coming. So I don't know if they're going to do one. I hope they do one. I always like speculation. I always like knowing things in advance and being able to speculate on it. So I hope we get one. I've got a little personal question. If you don't want to answer it, it's okay. But what is it like being a dad? It is good. I like it. I think my philosophy has changed since I became a dad. I think I've gotten a lot nicer about things. I'm more empathetic about things, whereas before I was just like, screw it. Something happens to me, I don't care. I'll just keep going. But now I'm watching myself a little more as well. So things change, but actually raising my kids is cool. To see them grow, to see them from babies, not being able to walk, to talk, and now they're playing sports and doing well in school and all that stuff. So it's cool. It's a good experience. There's a lot of work, but it's rewarding as well. It's very fun, especially when they get old enough to start talking and things like that. It's harder in the beginning when you're just changing diapers, just cleaning, and all you're doing is taking care of them, and they're giving you no feedback because they can't talk. But once they get to a certain age where they talk or even interact with you, it's really, really fun. And then once they get to that other age where, they're playing sports or they're in school, and you can start, giving them some of your knowledge, that's a really cool thing. So it's awesome, brother. All right, and last question, long lead up to this question from brother Ben again. Random thoughts past possible prediction turned into question. Was watching an old MSF video of yours, the 6th anniversary, about MSF and bugs. My prediction, nothing to do with bugs, all to do with the MSF anniversary, 7th anniversary legendary event released for Professor X, similar how they did Old Man Logan and soon to be most likely Blade. I think those are all gonna release or lead into Professor X. Maybe not like Apocalypse did with all their horsemen, but just kind of some of the legendary characters led into Mephisto previously. I think it's gonna be something like that. So obviously the other option could be Dark Dimension 9. This is Dark Dimension. Purple is required, unlike Odin. Gear Tier 20 is introduced shortly before, at the same time as Gear Tier 20 is required. She explains why we get Crimson Gear slowly becoming easier to get. I think the reason we're getting Crimson Gear slowly is just because not enough people have unlocked Mephisto. So once that gets unlocked, or once they reach that threshold of X amount of number of Mephistos released, then they're going to start to release Crimson Gear a little bit more. That's how they've done with other Dark Dimensions in the past, so I'm assuming that'll be the same way as far as the Crimson Gear. They've already done this with ISO 8, making green ISO 8 very easy, blue not as much harder. They kind of do this with the next tiers of things, right? So as green was the top tier of ISO 8, it was very hard to get, but since they introduced blue, then they made the green stuff very easy. Now they have purple. Purple's the hard stuff to get. They're making blue easier. They did that with gear as well. They've done that with diamonds. You know, as diamonds was the next thing, red stars became a lot easier to get, but previous to that, red stars were hard to get, and because there was no diamonds, that was the top end. So they always do that. They make the older currency a little less valuable, a little easier to get though. Obviously they're going to do as much, going to get as much purple as they can to get closer. Once these events end up going, they're going to be much harder. Introducing Gear Tier 20 with near Professor X makes sense. If you require purple 5 Gear Tier 20, now you can line up Mephisto 2.0 in the Charles Xavier. I got 2 questions. Hearing that prediction, what route do you think they will take? Just wanting your prediction. I know you don't know. What route do you want him to take is up to you. So I think what they're going to do, it looks like the purple ISO 8 was for Odin, and what they did with ISO 8 blue, they introduced the first 3 levels of ISO 8 blue up to level 3. Then later they introduced 4 and 5. So I think that's going to come later, probably sometime in 2025 is my guess. I think early 2025 is when we're going to get Gear Tier 20, a new level cap increase up to level 105. So yeah, a lot more gold, all that stuff. And then that is going to introduce Dark Dimension 9, and Professor X is going to be the character there. And then sometime later, they're going to require that ISO 8 purple level 5, maybe for, obviously not Mephisto, but whatever the next Dark Dimension character would be. It looks like they're probably doing 2 a year now, whereas previously they did 1 a year. One maybe based on gear, so like Crimson Gear, and the other based on ISO 8, so the purple ISO 8. It looks like that's what they're doing, but I honestly don't even think Scopely has their plan fully fleshed out yet. So that's what I think is gonna happen, but it's all something to change. But I hope you got some value from this video and you did enjoy this video. And if you did, leave it a like. It is free for you, tremendously helps the channel. And if you want to see every character in Marvel Strike Force ranked from best to worst, check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.